Okay. Hello everyone. How's everyone doing? I just got done with family Thanksgiving, so yeah. It's going good for me. How's everyone doing today? Gonna crack open a Arizona watermelon fruit juice. Hope everyone's doing well today. Hello. What's up, Akutsu? What's up, Sothis? What's up, B? There's drama? I can't tell if that's sarcasm or not. But yeah, there's this is probably one of the most controversial banners I think I've ever seen. Like, I've been a day one player and I've seen the community like upset. I've seen it upset many times. I've seen it crash out for certain things. But I think unironically, this is probably like top 3 or top 5 like craziest like drama I've ever seen FEH Twitter have when it comes to a banner, at least. I just wanted to discuss it because you know, I'm a content creator, you know, I'm very passionate about FEH, obviously. I love this game. And you know, I always wish this game well, you know. Yesterday, for those that don't know, even though I'm pretty sure everyone knows, yesterday's FEH banner was leaked like 12 hours, like literally 12 or 11 hours before the trailer dropped. And there was already mixed responses. You're entirely right, but all right, we'll get to that in a sec. Thank you, Dumb Dollar. Thank you, Akutsu. So I made this tweet yesterday after the trailer officially dropped, and I said, how can anyone hate this? This is such a love letter for CYL and OG players. Happy 10th anniversary, CYL. And I'm not gonna lie, I got my ass spread. Like, bro, they spread my ass like spreading butter on like toast. Like, I got annihilated from this. And, you know, I want to tackle this as professionally as I can, because I think, you know, I think a lot of the reasons people were giving are actually pretty valid, you know, regardless of how I feel about the banner itself. I think that the things surrounding the banner and the criticisms people have are genuinely valid. I have no ill will towards people that like responded to my tweet negatively, even the ones that responded to it in a toxic way. I don't have any ill will, because I do kind of wish I worded this better. So I don't really have any ill will or like, you know, negative feelings towards anyone that like attacked me or like, you know, was like, oh, are you stupid? Like, I definitely should have worded this better. So I said, how can anyone hate this as such a love letter for CYL and OG players? Because I don't know. For me, you know, I'd like to say that I like to criticize IS for the bad things they do, but I also like to say I give IS props for the good things that they do, you know? Like, for example, I don't think enough people are talking about how with these 2 units, like, look at this. They actually condensed the weapon description. There's no more. If you're in 3 rows or 3 columns, for every time you stroke yourself, you get +5 to all stats for a max of 50. Like, no, like they straight up just tell you the number, what you're getting during combat. They straight up just tell you how much flat DR you're getting. And then they give the effects. Like, I think that's amazing. Like, that's awesome. Am I not wrong for that? Like I think, like, credit to where credit's due. Like, I think something like that is awesome. They need to keep doing that. No more 3 rows and 3 columns bullshit. No more inconsequential conditions that's always going to be met 99% of the time. Like, the 3 rows and 3 columns stuff, even in modes like Summoner Duels where like the map is like 2 times bigger, you're always hitting that condition. Might as well just say +15 to all stats, you know? Like, things like that, I think IS deserves some credit, you know? And fair play to IS, you know? Could you, like, I know there's going to be someone that's like, oh, well, that should have always been a thing. You know what? While you're not wrong, at the same time, better late than never. It's always better late than never. After I made this tweet saying, how can anyone hate this? This is such a love letter for CYL and OG players, 10th anniversary of CYL. I got my ass whooped. So I thought, I was like, okay, let me, I was like, all right, let me follow up with this. By the way, this is not a super literal statement. Everyone's feelings are valid. And that's not me. That's because I didn't think people would take this literal. When I say, how can anyone hate this? I don't mean like, oh, if you hate this or if you disagree with it, you're in the wrong. I don't mean that. I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean it like that. Should I have worded it differently? Sure. Yeah. And I'm sorry if with this statement, I like offended anyone or made it seem like, oh, your feelings aren't valid. My fucking mouth flaps are not flapping. Why? Why VTuberModel? I have to calibrate my shit. Okay. Now it should be better. Yep, now it's way better. Cool. All right. Anyways, what's up, Scarecrow? So I made that tweet. And yeah, I just want to gather everyone's reactions before I start doing that. Please don't send hate to anyone. Everyone is free to express their own opinions. You know, we can be civil about this, you know, because again, this is a game we all love, you know? And yeah, I just wanted to go through the community reaction. I kind of want to do more community reactions because I think it's good to share it, you know? But yeah, let's go through the replies. I got my ass, look at that, 62 reposts, 55 replies. I got my ass whooped. Just don't let people get you down. Sometimes it does, but you know what? That's part of the YouTube gig, you know? And especially since I'm a FEH or like just a content creator in general, it makes me an easy target, but you know, I'll try not to let it down. Again, should my wording in my initial tweet have been better? Yes. I probably should not have started it off with this. How can anyone hate this? Because people took this literal in a sense that I think that people, or they think that I thought that people shouldn't be angry or, you know, not have issues with it. I didn't mean it literally. If you have issues with it, that's everyone's feelings are valid, and you know, feel free to criticize anything the way you see fit. You know, like again, your feelings are valid. But I just want to go through some of the comments and then also like address some things how I feel about it, because you know, this is a very important topic, and I see everyone talking about it. Almost every single Discord server I've been in, everywhere on Fade Twitter. I don't even have Reddit, and I'm still seeing Reddit posts from like servers and just tweets in general. Like it's this is like, again, I've never seen the community more upset about a banner, or at least like I haven't seen a banner as controversial like this in a very, very long time. So I just, before I go through this, no hate towards anyone. Everyone's valid to their own opinions. This is more of just a discussion type of thing, and I just want to do this, you know, I want to do this professionally and, you know, just have a spark a conversation. Like I don't want any toxicity, no bad faith, no nothing. To be fair though, your wording wasn't that bad, no shade. I didn't think it was that bad either, but you know, again, I don't want anyone thinking that way. I don't want anyone thinking that I meant any harm or like, oh, you don't deserve to have any feelings for this, you know, like, again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, how they feel. Okay, the first reply has nothing to do with the actual well, kind of has something to do with the actual banner, but it's Roy and I color share with the OC, and then I responded with color sharing increases 5 stars. We're not going to go there. That's a completely different topic. It's a whole banana like thing. It's a whole like discussion. I'm not going to go through that. DTM, make that fucking video, please, about why color sharing is actually good. That's all I'm going to say. We're going to just go over that. I do not want to talk about color sharing because that's a whole different argument, and I don't want to go there. So we have Grima, or not Grima, Giratina. Honestly, it's really cute and quite nostalgic, and I really like the concept they went with, making them a harmonic hero interacting together when they usually never did. That's really cool. Although I do still wish they at least incorporated some new elements to their design. That's a fair criticism. Like, I heard that, like, I don't know how true this is. I didn't really like look at it, but I did it. Apparently they're reusing like completely the sprites, like not even like making like the old sprites like modernized. Like, you know how like modern sprites, they have more animation, there's more flow with them, but I heard that they just completely use the same thing. Now, is that lazy? Yeah, I can concede to that. That's like not even updating a sprite, making it the colors more vibrant or like the just different, more animated, you know, not stiff and rigid like how like Gen, because if you guys remember, Gen 1 sprites were pretty rigid and like and like you know, stiff. So that I can understand. I could definitely understand where you're coming from. That's definitely an L on IS's end. Next is from Fire Emblem Hat Enjoyer. I'm a day one player and I don't think this is a leveler at all. I think it's we want to print more Lord Alts letter, and it's the 500th one. Real OGs just want more characters in the game. No alts of alts. This is where I think timing, and again, this is just my opinion. I'm not saying anything I say for the rest of the stream is not like, I'm not considering a fact or whatever. This is just my opinion. This is where I think the timing was really bad. Lyn had 2 alts in book 9. This is literally her 3rd one. Can I see people being upset about that? 1,000,000%. I think that's literally, we haven't had like a unit get 3 alts in 1 year since like literally year 1 or 2, when IS was scared of like, you know, printing units from other games that wasn't Awakening Fates or Echoes, you know? That I can understand. That I 1,000,000% understand. Again, that's completely understandable. I'm not going to argue against that. Yeah, again, that's fair. I want to try being as fair as I can with people and like, you know, again, just be professional about this. I don't want to be like, you know, a piece of crap being like, no, you're stupid. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You know, like that is valid. Lyn having 3 alts this year is fucking stupid. I've always been like, listen, this is what I always say. I think you could have like a balance of, because at the end of the game, this is a gacha game. At the end of the day, this is a gacha game that needs to print money. But there also needs to be units that haven't been in the game yet that should be added. There should be a balance between the two. And admittedly, book 9, there's been a lot of repeats, and it's hard for me to defend that. I could completely 100% get behind on that. That's totally valid. Next is Inari. I love the concept of redoing CYL. Really wish it was just Roy though who is elite. That's fair. I wish this was like, again, I don't know if there's an easy solution to this. Maybe how I would have done it is like, this is a 4-person banner. It's like the same pairings, but different lead, if that makes sense. So we'll have an Ike with a Roy summonable. We'll have a Roy with an Ike summonable. We'll have a Lucina with a Lyn, and then Lyn with Lucina. Does that make sense? Or they could have finally made this where you could switch leads however you want. Either or could have worked. I think people would probably prefer the latter, where you can just switch wherever you want. But if there was a time to introduce that, it probably would have been this, because even IS should know, like, people would be really upset about Lucina being the backpack or Roy being the backpack. We haven't had a freaking Roy since Harmonic Groom Roy. Like that sucks. Like I could understand why people are upset about that. You know? I was thinking making them all separate and put them in the August/September special hero slot. Maybe. I think August could have worked, because that's when CY, honestly, yeah, Apocalypse, because that's when CYL like releases, you know. So they could have made this an August banner. They actually could have just done that. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. My only complaint is all this is just a timing. That's fair. There's other complaints that people have that I do want to go over. Again, everyone's opinions and feelings are valid. I'm not going to tell someone, oh, you're upset about something. No, I say no, you shouldn't be. Like, again, I feel like a lot of people took my initial tweet that way, and I apologize to those that took it that way. That's not how I meant it, genuinely. Next is Angie. My only worry is that it'll mean we won't get like an Ike alt based on his actual games anytime soon. It's fine, but I really do wish we got more Radiant on Ike. So that's also a valid criticism. I feel like that goes beyond this banner personally, because like that's always been an issue with Ike for like a while. Like we only ever get like Radiant Dawn. I mean, Path of Radiance Ikes. So I don't think this is like a this banner issue. But definitely just like an issue with Faye in general. Because I agree with that. They need to like stop doing just Path of Radiance Ikes or like pre-time skip like Telly's characters. It is kind of rough. Next is Cyber Fox Z. Wish they would introduce new signature skills to the older units than Roy getting Mike Wazowski'd. Here's, okay. Again, your feelings are valid. Here's my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. I'm conflicted on that because, chat, let's be honest, how many refines and remixes are actually impactful a year? So, you know, like that's like on paper it sounds good. Give Brave units remixes. But like if we get like 3 like actual impactful like refines or remixes a year out of like what? Like the 30 units we get a year of refines? That's not good odds right there. And those are on limited units. You know? That's on limited units. And like they rarely make them actually impactful. So do we really want that on CYL units? I don't know. That's where I'm like hesitant of giving the old units remixes, because they don't even give like limited legendaries or mythics good remixes. They hardly ever do. So Tachi, what's your opinion on the take that Resplendent and Harmonic Brave heroes devalue the OGs? I think Resplendent can to a degree, because the whole premise of it was having special costumes, and then like now they're getting new special costumes like through a paywall, which is weird. I think Resplendents do, but maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think Harmonic Brave heroes devalue the OGs one. I don't think they do. Probably the second place winners, because now they're being backpacks, which again, admittedly, that does suck. That does suck, you know? Like, I love Roy. I freaking love Roy, but it does hurt seeing him as a backpack, you know? I know some people don't care. All the power to you. But, you know. It's a 10th anniversary for CYL. Though, yeah, okay, I had a lot of people, because I was like, happy anniversary 10th CYL. Is it a few months early? Sure. But this is clear, but like, this is clearly because we're about to hit 10th anniversary CYL. Happy Thanksgiving, Satachi. Just finished my Thanksgiving dinner. What did I miss? No, I was just talking about just the drama about the CYL remix banner type thing. What do you think is the best refine / remix of this book? Bernadetta got a real Winter Bernadetta got a really good one. Legendary Faye got a really good one. Makai got a really good one. I'm trying to think of what else. It's probably slipping in my head, but I can't really say which one's the best, but like those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. I'm definitely forgetting one. Oh, Legendary Ninian is like, okay, I probably Legendary Ninian, unironically. But yeah, why does it keep saying chat's disconnected? Is it like, is the stream okay? Has it been like staticky? Was Sonya refined this year? Yeah, but like Sonya's weird. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like top tier, you know? The best remix was Ninja Yunaka. It's such a, okay. The chat's bugging out. Fuck. I don't know what's wrong. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, I had a lot of people give me a little bit of flack being like, oh, it's not even 10th anniversary yet. Are you stupid? It's like, all right, bro. I'm like a month and some change off. My bad. Okay. But like this, they're clearly doing this because 10th anniversary for CYL is right around the corner. And for those that don't know, CYL started before the game even came out. So yeah. I think people are being a little disingenuous when it comes to you know, me saying that, like, come on, like it's like, okay, sorry for being like a month and some change off. All right, like I'm sorry. That I will say, that I will give a little bit of pushback. Like, all right, bro, come on. We're like a month and some change off from actually hitting the 10th CYL. Like that's a little annoying. That I will say is a little annoying. It had like okay, like right here, it hasn't been 10 years. All right. Could, again, this is where, again, could the timing have been better? Yes, I agree. I agree, but like, do we really have to actually this? Like, do we really? I think I said this to like 𝔗𝔬𝔩𝔗𝔢 and Oblivion, but imagine like Book 10 FEH channel came out, and then like at the end of the FEH channel on some Smash Bros shit, they were like, well, actually, we have one more announcement. Check this out. And then they show off that banner. That would have been so hype. That would have been so hype. I really hope to keep the ancient theme. Yeah, the ancient theme would be really cool. My problem is that this doesn't feel like a celebration at all. None of this is free or comes to any. That I will also agree with. I don't think this should have been. If they wanted this a celebration, they should have made this an addition to our current schedule. So, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Like, this should have been an addition rather than a replacement, you know? We got the final story chapter with the last mythic banner. So technically that fills out what we would have gotten today. So in terms of story chapters, it's the same. But what we are missing out is the Forging Bonds and the GHB. That's the only thing we're genuinely, because I know some people are like, oh my God, we're not even getting a story chapter for this. But it's like, no. If you really want to be technical, if I can do the actually part, they just, if you really think about it, we're getting the same amount of orbs from story chapters. They just made that release earlier. That's how I look at it. But yes, we're missing a GHB and tickets and 14 orbs because I think, yeah, it's 14 orbs from Forging Bonds. So we're missing 14 orbs and tickets and a GHB. That sucks. I'm not going to defend that. That's genuinely garbage. I can wholeheartedly agree with that. Honestly, I will reserve the judgment on this until I see how broken the skills are or if the heroes themselves are broken. I think Lyn is busted. I think Lyn is literally just a better Summer Celica. And while Summer Celica sucked on debut, she's actually pretty good now because the entire meta grew into her being dominant, if that makes sense. Like, she just kept getting buffs after buffs after buffs. Ike, from first impressions, he looks to at least be just as good as Duo Valencia, who's already, like, really good. So, so I also do think the fodder is really good. I don't think enough people are talking about how good patience is. Well, at least on paper, patience seems really good. The only thing that might be bad about it is who can inherit, like who can realistically inherit it. If you're like, because patience, that B skill is a reflex counter. You're making the enemy hit you first, and then you counterattack. Like that's really good, even when they're player phase, or when you player phase. You know. What really pisses me off is people are like, oh, this is an EOS sign. People have been saying this for years, but it's been really annoying that people have been saying this, especially this year. This game still makes like 2 million a month, 1.8 million or 1.9 million at worst, which was June, July. It was one of the two. I'm gonna be honest. I don't even think FEH yearly costs like 3 million. I don't even think it does. I don't see it costing that much. Like there's no way it takes 4 million a year to keep FEH up, and for the art and for the VAs. And in terms of coding, let's be honest, FEH is not hard to code. There's no way. There's no way. Vanitas is, dude, they definitely put Vanitas here to screw with the rates, man. I mean, granted, she's color share. Let me not even go there, because that's a whole different topic. Man, it's all right. I expect better. Again, valid. I'm not going to tell people how they feel. If you feel a certain way, that's totally okay. It's so nice. I'd love to get more of them. Cool. I've always just personally hated the duo hero mechanic. It really only puts one character in the limelight while the other is off to the side, sometimes even putting favorites together with characters you probably don't like. Why is it only Ike and not Ike and Roy? Again, I agree. If that's how you feel, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I get it. I get it. As someone, Byleth is my second favorite Fire Emblem character, and she got paired with, she became the backpack off someone I don't even fucking, I never even played her game. I haven't played Marissa's game. So I was like, oh, cool, I guess. You know, like Vanitas feels so mid, like, oh wow, she steals stat bonuses if she survives. Yeah, if she survives, like, she's really good. If she can actually survive consistently, she's really good. Puerto Rican Sothis ruining my chances with getting another unit. Hey, I'm Puerto Rican. Chill on that. I'm not going to go on that topic. Chat, don't push me into talking about color sharing, because that's a whole different topic. Next is Topher. I'm ready to plus 10 Ike accidentally watch... Fuck me, I just started talking about this. I have to skip that. I have thoughts about color sharing, but I cannot. I'm not. That's a different topic that people are. It's a sensitive topic. I'm not gonna talk about it. It's lazy as fuck. Again, I don't think the intent was this banner to be lazy. I don't think it was the intent. Could it feel that way? Yes, but I don't think this was the intent, at least this time, because again, me and Oblivion will definitely be the first FateTubers that will tell you how we feel about IS and their decision makings and them being freaking lazy. But I don't think this time it was the intent. I don't think this time was the intent, personally. I really don't. Again, we could disagree. We could agree to disagree, but I don't feel that way. Like, again, like the fact that CYL 10th anniversary is literally in a month and like some change. Again, could they have waited for it to actually been the anniversary? 1,000,000%. I agree with you. That way we could have had a forging bonds and a GHP. 100%. I agree with that. But the conceptually, I personally don't feel with it. But again, you're completely valid about how you feel. I'm not going to tell you how to feel, you know. I could be more positive about this if we knew for certain that we were getting free injections to the common pool for character that are just too unfortunate to be added on regular banners. Because a 3-unit update, even if it's technically contains 2 extra half units, is small. Again, I think the argument is valid, but I don't think this is just a this banner exclusive problem. I've said this, especially when was the last time we had a Fade channel that gave us a pool update, a 4-star special rate update? I think it was the last CYL Fade channel. I always thought if you could get a rearmed or an ascendant, oh well, ascendant's already in it, but I always thought if you could get a rearmed or like duo Ephraim in the 4-star special rate, I feel like if we're able to pull those in that rate, then they should already be in the normal pool. That's my thoughts. Like if you can get a unit through 4-star special rate, they should already be in the normal pool. I didn't think that they would put, I don't think anyone thought that rearms would be in there, but they started putting them there. And now I think that, you know, because by proxy, I genuinely just feel like, what's the point? Or better yet, not, am I getting it confused? Not 4-star special rate. They're in weekly revivals. I think I was wrong about that. I think they're in weekly revivals. It's like, bro, might as well just put them in the normal pool. It's already mad bloated, you know? I don't think that's that bad. But again, I don't think that's a this banner exclusive issue. I think that's just a issue IS has with harmonics and rearms and assets heroes, you know? Have they ever touched a summoning pool other than the 4-star? I don't. Yeah, they'll like, yeah, they'll clear out some of the off-focus units to put them in the 4-star specials. So the normal like off-focus pool like gets lessened like every like year-ish. Would have liked them to not be harmonic so I can have an actual Royal instead of him being a backpack. Again, I can't really argue about that. Roy, I love Roy, and Roy stands, I salute you. That sucks. That sucks. I wish we could switch the lead or like, you know, include both together, you know? Yeah, that does suck. Very unnecessary. Why do we get a 3rd Lin this year? Again, that's valid criticism. I'm not gonna argue that. The game isn't even 9 years old. This is another actually moment, but CYL started before FEH came out. That's why we're about to hit CYL 10 as we're going into the 9th year anniversary, because CYL started before FEH came out. Are we a month early? Sure. But it's again, just we're about to hit 10 years of CYL. Okay, you know, like I don't know how else to say it. 10 years, damn, yep. I personally can't perceive it that way due to the state of the game. It feels soulless, and it's yet another new heroes banner full of alts, even worse. Every unit in this banner is limited. Again, they need to cut almost every unit coming out nowadays being freaking limited. That sucks. That again, I can't I'm not gonna disagree with that. That sucks. What's up, Antonio? Roy's art annoys me to an irrational extent. Again, that's subjective. I can't. I'm not gonna argue in a sense. It's a cool concept, but why are they harmonic? Why couldn't Roy and Lucina be their own unit? Especially since Roy had the last amount of alts of the 4, and he's stuck as a backpack, and the units themselves are just upgraded Brave, Ike, and Lin. I think the units themselves being an upgraded Brave, Ike, and Lynn, I feel like that's intentional. I think that's, and I personally like it. I think units like these that are supposed to be a celebration of past existing alts, like CYL, something so major, I think that's okay to be an upgraded version of their past selves. You know? I don't think that every unit, like for example, like the last like 3 female Aleers was like the same unit, like literally, like from point A to like point B. Like it was for the most part the same unit. And I don't agree with that. But for something like this, as a celebration of CYL, I can forgive it. I can actually forgive it. Personally, again, you don't have to, but for something like this, I can give it some slack, you know? CYL Resplendents were nice and more than enough. These are totally unnecessary. I don't know. That's a weird gray line where I don't know how to feel. Why is my chat like dying? What if I just refresh the page? Okay. I don't know why my chat keeps dying. Yeah, that's a gray line. I don't really know how to answer that. I don't know. I want Ike Soren duo as much as the next guy, but I hold a soft spot for Brave Ike, so I'm happy about it. I used to use him a ton back in the day, and I run Ike's Grail all in Smash Bros, so I'm just happy to see him back. I feel for the Roy fans. Yeah, the Roy fans and Lucina fans, I'm putting one out to you. I'm holding my beer. I'm holding one out to you right now. How can people not? It's nothing new, just the same units with bomb skills, and they made them a duo. Whoever got that idea, I hope it's the last time. Again, I think that the reason why they're doing this is because, again, it's going to be the 10th anniversary of CYL in like a month. They could have definitely handled this better. They could have waited. That's the number one criticism I want to give them. They definitely should have waited. It's definitely too early. And yeah, I also just don't like how this just comes in out of nowhere with nothing. You know, I'm hoping to God, KCB said this, so shout out to KCB. I'm hoping that like when reset happens tonight, when we get the data download, that there's a secret login bonus or some bullshit, or like, I don't know, like a actual celebration. I would really like that. I think everyone would like that. I think a lot of people would like tone down a little bit, but yeah. Roy backpack seating again. Yes, that's unfortunate. Can't imagine how happy the Roy yeah, that's wow, 38 likes. Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's at 15 minutes, right? No, the data download should be like in a couple hours, like 2 or 3. This feels like this should have been a special heroes banner instead of a new heroes banner. I think Scarecrow said it, or Apocalypse said it. This could have been a yearly thing in August. That would have been perfect. So that every 10th anniversary of a certain CYL could have like gotten like a revamped version of them. Maybe like slightly different, or like, I saw, maybe we're probably gonna go through it here, but maybe like a revision, like with a new vision, like, oh, this time Ike's with in Mist's outfit. He's, or like, not maybe not Mist outfit, but like he has Mist perf staff or something, and he's a staff unit, like, you know, like something like that. That would have also been really cool, you know. That would have been cool. It's not a love letter to the backpack units. Again, I can't argue that. It's that really fucking sucks. You know, that really sucks. Sorry, the GIF is funny. Dude, I look at this GIF and I just think of like Tyler the Creator, like sugar on my tongue. I don't know why that song is the first thing that pops in my head when I see this GIF. They're all hating because they can't look past the alt spam to realize how actually T this is. Is that Ice Spice? Is that Ice? Okay, chat. Okay, chat. Anyways. Under normal circumstances, I would agree. But again, Lin having 3 alts in one book is fucking crazy. I cannot deny it. That is crazy. Especially when they almost all fundamentally play the same. Hey guys, it's Lin and I'm a bow unit. Hey guys, it's Lin. I'm not a bow unit, but I basically am because I have a style and I give it to everyone else. Hey guys, it's me. I'm Lin and I'm a bow unit. And this time I don't have a style for 2 spaces. I have one for 3. Like, you know, like that's, you know, that's kind of rough. If it was actually during the 10th anniversary, I'd been more merit. I'd have more merit for it to exist. Again, completely valid take right there. But all this is doing is taking a new hero slot and replacing it with units we've had since year 1. I'm also not particularly excited about Unkillable Brave Ike returning and Lin's 11th ult. Post. Can you see this post? Yes, I can. Again, in terms of story chapters, we basically are getting the same amount of orbs as like every other year. The only thing we're missing, again, is Forging Bonds and GHB. I'm obviously not going to defend removing content that's always been in the game for 8 years is a good thing. I'm not going to say that. Again, totally valid criticism. That's 14 orbs and 4 tickets. That's not good. It's not good. That's not good. I'm not going to defend IS for that. Seeing Brave Ike in the limelight again after all this time, I get why some people might feel disappointed, but as an old-time player, this gives me a lot of joy. Might be time to revisit Faye. That's cool. All right. Shoutouts to Ocean Floor. They've been they're gonna try to revisit Faye. Respectfully, good luck with that. But I think Faye can be still fun casually. Momo says it's such a neat banner, +2 units, color share, and it's our first 3 unit in a new Heroes banner in a long while. Yup, that's cool. Again, should they have not been harmonic units? Yeah. I think after some time, yeah, they should not have been harmonic units. Or at least, again, let us switch. You know? Let us switch. I can't argue with anyone. Yeah, because that's completely justified. I can't even like argue with that. That fucking sucks. And I do feel bad. I do. It's not even CYL's anniversary yet. What are you talking about? This is another nitpick moment. But maybe they forgot. But 10th anniversary is for CYL is like in a month and some change. It is. They're just a bit early on that. This is an actually moment, but I'm not going to argue against that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't hate the banner, but it's basically this. This shit made me laugh. This shit really fucking made me laugh. Bro, they should have edited it so he had 2 toothpicks since it's harmonized. 100% they did it now to help sales for Black Friday. I don't know. No forging bonds or GHB means less FTP orbs. Again, this criticism right here I am 100% on board on. I know I'm basically repeating myself, but this is like everyone that's upset mainly for that. I cannot blame you. Now, if I'm going to be personally honest, I'm going to get shit. I'm going to get hate for this. Do I think the GHB matters? I'm going to be honest. Most people don't build GHBs unless they're like Marnie or like really broken or like a super popular character, which is like once a year. I said it. I said it. If I'm going to have a controversial moment at all in the stream, it's going to be that. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Like 2/3 of the GHBs is random like side villains we don't give a fuck about. All right, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Do we really care about that? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. But the forging bonds, that's a massive L. That's GHBs for the F2P and not meant to be broken unless it's Gromilla or Marnie. Yeah, but even then, again, like how often are they really good, you know? Could this have been the GHB that was really good this year? Yeah. But again, you know, how often are people going to build them? Not much, but regardless, again, cutting content that we've had for 10 years, again, that's an L, you know? I'm not calling that a nitpick. I'm just saying, you know, again, I think both can be true. People want new heroes, not repeats, but they fail to realize how Faye would be recreating the Mr. Krabs empty cash register meme if they wasted 2 new hero slots on board and court or something. I half agree with this. I half agree with this. There needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. You can't have just new heroes, another Soren, another Lincia, another Ike, and then fucking OC. You know, it should be like one, like 2, even 1, maybe, I guess, mega ultra popular cash grab character, and then units that haven't been in the game, like ℉𝔬𝔩𝔬𝔡. I mean, he just got added like a month ago, but you know what I mean. You know, like there should be a balance. Aya should really not just put all their eggs in a basket. Be like, let's put all the popular characters again and again and again. I genuinely think there should be like a balance, 100%. And you know, at the same time, he's not wrong. Like, how many ℉𝔬𝔢 fans are going to summon for base ℉𝔬𝔢? How many people are like actual ℉𝔬𝔢 fans that would summon for him, you know? Like the IS, like there has to be a, like, I agree, but there does have to be a good middle ground. I genuinely do think there should be a middle ground. Who? All right, fuck off. So it's not kidding. There needs to be a good middle ground. Well, I don't agree that every unit on a new heroes banner should be existing heroes that are also popular as an asset hero. I also don't think that like, okay guys, we got new heroes featuring Hanuman, Ignatz, Manuela, and Aloise. Who the fuck is summoning for that? Let's be honest. You know, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance. There genuinely needs to be a balance. Yeah, again, I think there should be a balance. Don't get me wrong. In an ideal world, yeah, just give us all only new units, you know? In an ideal world, 100%. But in the reality that we're in, this is a gacha game. They do have to make money. So I think there should be a happy medium. 2 new units, 2 money makers. It shouldn't be all money makers. FEH, did you think if new heroes banner with all new units format would attract players today? No, not really. I don't think it should be all new units because then the game will just not make money. That's just the reality of it. A lot of the characters that are still not in the game respectfully are not, and I mean this with all due respect. I love Edward. I love Ignatz. I actually do love Ignatz. But you know, IS is not going to make money if they just make like a freaking pool of all the like least popular niche characters in all of the Fire Emblem. Again, there has to be a balance. There has to. Too much of either is bad? I agree. I personally think too much of either is bad. Again, in an ideal world, I would love for everyone to be happy and every banner will just be like new, like genuine new units. All of like those niche characters, people that are fans of like 𝔐𝔬𝔩𝔩𝔢 or like Ignatz or freaking Hanneman or like, you know, like I would love that to be the ideal world. But at the end of the day, there should be a middle ground. There just should be. Kaboon Lin Heartbreak. I'm not gonna talk about that because that's a very sensitive topic and also, again, objective. If you want my opinion, this is one of Kaboon's more tasteful art, if I'm gonna be honest. This isn't like year 2 to 4 Kaboon type art, so that's all I'll say about it. People are busy thinking of number of alts people have. Again, I think there is some merit to it because again, I would understand. Like, I don't have a problem with Lin, but her having 3 alts in a year, that's kind of ridiculous. Eternally in depth. Because it's not good thing at all. This is the same unit, same shit for the second time, except made even worse because new Roy and Lucina didn't get an all. Again, this part 1,000,000% valid. I'm not going to argue that. I really hope this banner flops because of how badly designed this is. Again, I think this is mostly just timing on IS's part. They should have done like an actual proper celebration of this, like truthfully. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of IS doing the same exact things like with units. Like again, like I think last year or 2 years ago, like we had like 3 Alir alts that literally did the same thing, just slightly different. That's really bad. But in a case like this, where they're trying to make a new Brave Ike, and he's supposed to replicate how he was 8 years ago, I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Personally. Again, everyone's feelings are valid. And it's okay. It's genuinely okay. I don't mean that in a passive aggressive way. I don't mean that in like a disingenuous way. I genuinely mean that. That's your 7th week. You've shown it. I don't get it. I don't get it. They probably hate it because it's just the same with power creep. Like, bitch, think a little. All right, well, that's fucking. I don't think people are gonna believe me when I say this. I think this year, in terms of power creep, has been fine. I think there's spikes, but there's definitely been like. There's been a lot of plateaus this year than I think people want to admit in terms of power creep. It's more complexity creep that's like a little annoying. I wish they were better with their words. They didn't have to call me like a bitch, but sure. This banner is bullshit. Okay. Again, I'm not gonna. If you don't like it, not everyone has to like this banner, and that's okay. That's genuinely okay. You're kidding, right? In the CYL, you got one for free. This is literally, we ran out of ideas instead of adding characters who don't have alts, and we would pair old characters. This is legitimate bullshit. Again, I feel like people are forgetting that like we're about to hit 10 years of CYL in like a month and some change. Should they have been harmonized? That's a whole different discussion. I think just to make all the fans happy, they should have not been harmonized and they should have all been in the normal pool. I think that's what they should have done. But yeah. Because it's the laziest fucking excuse of a banner, and yet again another Lin alt. I could see people being angry for another little. That's totally fair. I don't know. It's hard for me to call this banner lazy. I don't think that was the intention. Does it? Again, has IS shown that they've been lazy with kits and alts? 1,000,000%. But unironically, I don't think this was the intention. I don't think this was the intention. Reomnitune aided and Twine being limited will forever annoy me. Dude, all that shit should be in the main pool. Like high key. I don't get why it's not. I've been a day one player and I didn't even get Brave Hector for the first time since like 2 years ago. You know, shit, like 2 years worth of, like 8 years worth of summoning or 7 years worth of summoning. And I didn't fucking get a Brave Hector for like once. Yeah, I agree, Renman. The pure and honest view of the banner and most modern banners is how can they help my favorites? Because while I hope, I don't have a lot of faith they'll make an alt of my favorites. Power creep was bad, but not bad at all. Personally, I think Vanitas makes the banner feel weird and not a celebration. Yeah, Vanitas. I know why they threw Vanitas in that banner. I 1,000,000% know why they did that. Do I want to talk about that? Not really, because that's a discussion for a whole different day. Again, I just don't feel like this is... I don't think the intention was them being lazy. I personally don't. I think they're delaying Emblem Lucina for something. They jumped ahead to Emblem Corn after Emblem Akaya. I don't think Emblem Lucina is going to happen anymore in December because of today, but we'll see. Crescent Shadow says, I mean, I wasn't even that fond on the CYL banner in 2017 or any CYL. Brave Lucina is one of my most invested units now after her Resplendent was really cool looking. But here she's just stapled to a character I dislike, and it's just CYL 1 Power Creep Edition. I think a lot of people are like overestimating how good these units are. These units will definitely be meta, but like they don't like jump the gun on anything. Like Ike is relative to Duo Elincia, and then like Duo Harmonica Lin is like similar to Summer Celica. Like that's really it. Summer Celica has been updated to where she can use her bun after she style if she gets refreshed. Wondering since Link can use her bun after the style. Yeah, it'll be the same. It's easy to not like it. Waiting for a character, but they don't appear, and seeing the same characters repeated over and over again. This year, we've already had versions of Lin, Ike, Lucina. It's overwhelming. Again, this is totally valid. It's lazy and boring. Again, if this was a proper celebration, have a good one, Akutsu. If this was a proper celebration, like, I feel like everyone would like it. I don't know. Again, the timing is wrong. The fact that they just threw this out with no forging bonds just sucks. Reuse characters with the same outfits. Entire kits focusing on one of the units. No free units. No demoted units. Color share with a OC with 0 personality. No forging bonds. To see characters interact for more than one conversation. All limited here. Very easy to dislike, actually. I agree with everything. This, I have to disagree with. I'm not gonna... Maybe towards the end, after we talk about everything, I'll go over why I disagree with like the color sharing shit. Does anyone really care about demote units? Only if it's like an actual new character, which it usually is. So, yeah. It's just combination of repetitive character picks some tiredness from people and really poor timing. That's like the most honest answer I feel like I've seen all day today. Or one of. My problem is it feels a random time to drop this. They should have had dropped this during. Yes, I agree. Because this is lazy as shit. It's not a love letter. It's an excuse to release CYL units again for more money. That's not even counting the quote retweets, dude. I got my ass whooped by quote retweets. Is a love letter here with us? All right, this was funny. I can't even lie. This shit was funny. I mean, such a nice love letter when 2 of the 4 are cheerleaders. Yeah. Yeah. Again, I just wanted to talk about this because this is, again, one of the most controversial units or like banners of all time. Like, it's actually insane. And, you know, a lot of people, they have very valid reasons. Again, no GHB sucks. No forging bonds sucks. That's 14 less orbs and 4 less tickets. People mentioned no story chapter, but if not really, they released it early just with the mythic. So technically we're still getting the same orb count from story chapters. And yeah, I don't know, man. Again, I just wanted to go over the unit, like the community reaction on this banner, because it's very divisive. It's very, very divisive. I'm surprised there wasn't at least a Xenolog. Me too. They kind of just threw this shit out with no tickets. Which sucks. Again, I think here's how I see it, chat. My opinion, I think conceptually this is really awesome. I really do like it. I really think this was not them trying to. I genuinely think this came from a good place. However, no forging bonds, no GHB really sucks. It just does. Anytime they take out content is always a bad thing. You want more content. This game fucking is already dry as it is with how they do shit regularly. I know some people are freaking out if this was a yearly thing. I don't mind it being a yearly thing if they give us GHBs and a forging bonds again, because I don't think the reception of this is really bad. In the YouTube like-dislike ratio, it's like 50%. Like, it's almost like split 50%. Like, it's really bad. I think the JP side, it's actually 40-60. Like, they're actually net negative on the JP side, which is crazy. Usually they're more the chill ones, but they didn't even like it. The problem is that this banner feels extremely lazy. It's one of those things where it's like, FEH has a history of being lazy with alts, where they copy and paste. But I feel like this was not, like, even though, again, FEH has a history of being lazy, I just don't think this was their intention for once. I really don't think so. What kind of GHB do you think would it fit this kind of banner? I don't know. They always give us random units. This is above the usual lazy? I don't know. I just don't see it this way. Maybe I'm just nostalgia pilled because of CYL 1, but I don't see it that way. I wish the units were also separate. I feel like it's kind of an L that these units beat backpacks are, like, you know, not getting their own special version. They didn't even make the backpacks have influence on the kits either, like, which is crazy. I would love to see more CYL duos too. Again, a lot of people are very divisive on this. You either super love it or super hate this. Roy Alt versus Roy Resplendent is the most damning. All right, here's all right. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of don't care. There's only so many unique poses a base alt could have. You know, especially since he's a backpack. Like, there's only so many base alts. There's only so many ways for someone's base art to look at you, you know? Sorry, he's not doing like the 6-7 fucking shit like in the base art, you know? Like, I think that's like, to me, that's nitpicky. To me, that's nitpicky. Like, I'm gonna be honest. To me, that's nitpicky. Sorry, he's not dabbing for his freaking base art, you know? Like, I think to me, that's nitpicky. Hasn't Roy gotten like different art and a different artist every single like alt? I don't like how they're calling this a new heroes banner when there are 0 new units into the permanent pool. This should be a special heroes banner, not a new heroes banner. Again, this should have been a new a special heroes banner. This should have been. I agree with that. This should have been the August, because they never know what the fuck to do for August special heroes. This should have been the special heroes for August. I forget how long a forging bonds last. Maybe IS couldn't fit it. It's like a week or 2. I forgot. I also do think people calling new heroes banners like, oh wow, no new heroes. I think people are taking that new like more literal than I think they low-key should. But again, I get it. Every character that hasn't been in the game should be at the game. They should, you know? August or February would have been the best time for this. I think August would have been perfect. Because 10th anniversary for CYL depends on your definition of it. Do you count CYL when it was first conceived, which means when it was first like votable, which is like January? Or you consider it when they debut, which is August? You know, it's different for everyone. You know, it's very different for everyone. Could this banner be a spoiler of book 10 like Alpha Door sends us back to book 1? I don't know. I don't think I don't see it that way. Again, I feel like they had good intentions with this for the most part. Again, no forging bonds or GHB really sucks. That really, really sucks. I know people are going to bring up, oh, no story chapter, but like, again, we got it early. So if you really think about it in terms of like orbs we get a year per story chapter, it's still the same. You think book 10 will introduce new OCs or reuse alts to old OC? I don't even know. That's a good question. I don't even know who the freebie is going to be for book 10. If there even is one. I think the way they could make it feel better is having quest tickets. I agree. I agree. If the data download happens in 2 hours and it's data mined that we're getting tickets, forging bonds, like not having a forging bonds, that should be out of the question. Okay, let me not go that far. In terms of not having tickets from forging bonds, that should be out of the question. We still get 14 orbs from forging bonds in general. So I don't even think they're gonna, I don't know. I don't know. If there's a login bonus or we get 14 extra orbs and tickets, then like not having a forging bond should not matter. Because let's be honest, chat. 9 out of 10 people hate forging bonds for trying to get tickets because like you get like all one color and then like you're stuck there 30 minutes in trying to get the last ticket and it sucks. Society, can I ask a question? Am I a bad fan that I want this to be done for CYL 2 or 3? No. Again, I think everyone has, for the most part, have very valid concerns and issues with this. You know, I don't know. I hope this banner doesn't exist again. Again, everyone's free to have their own opinion. I don't mind this banner happens again. I just wish they time it and space it better. That's it. I think if those two things were considered, this would be received more, way better. I genuinely believe that. If we had less Ikes, Lucinas, and Lins this year, and this was timed at a better pace and like explained in a FEH channel, this would have been way well received. I genuinely don't think that all like this banner entire existence is bad. I think they should have done is have a separate poll for the units in CYL. I don't know. I feel like having the current CYL and then having a whole separate one, like the units that already won are going to win again anyways. They'll probably be in different order, you know? Like, I'm sure the three houses leaders will, like, win in, like, the second or third round instead. But I think this is a better alternative, except I just wish, again, they weren't harmonics. The timing was better. Where, like, it's not in a year where Lid already got fucking 2 other alts. And then again, just GHB and Forging Bonds. That's how I would have had it. That's how I would have handled this. They need to speak of this banner. I think also did some irreversible damage to this banner. All right, I'll talk about it. No one's gonna like it, even though it's the truth. Chat, the reason why Vanitas is in this banner is not just because of the Tempest trials, but so that the rates on this banner wouldn't be better than it already is. That's literally why Vanitas is in the banner. Wendy Lee making bank off of Fire Emblem this year? Yo, facts. No one wants to talk about it. But yeah. The way this banner is done is just bad. Yeah, I agree. The way it was handled was bad. But I don't think in concept this banner is a bad thing. If that makes sense. You know? If it was just reprinted CYL 1 Braves, I'd be fine with it, because then like you're getting to use your favorites with modern weapons and kits. What do you mean reprinted CYL 1 Braves? Like the old ones, but like remixed? Or do you mean like how they have it now, just they're not harmonics? Do we know the chapter they show us fight them at the end of the, like, is it like Paralog or like Legendary Mythic Emblem battle? Oh shit. We are getting wait, I didn't even realize that. Wait. You are fighting them in a map. I didn't even realize we're fighting them in a map. I didn't even realize that. Okay, so we are getting orbs from this. Probably just a Paralog. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's 9 orbs. If it's a Paralog, we would be getting 12 orbs. 9 from the story maps itself, and then 3 from the quests. So that means we would be 2 orbs off from Forging Bonds. Okay. So we're only getting 2 less than what we would normally get, minus tickets. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought it would be, but it still sucks. We're definitely not getting these for free. 3 orbs if it's a Xenolog, 9 if it's a Paralog. That's rough. We're definitely not getting these for free. I would be shocked if we got these for free. Sudden, dude, if we got one of these units for free or one of the two for free, bro, the entire community would like stop talking. Oh my God. They would not hate this banner anymore. I expect Lin Lucina to win the next Hero Rises though. Facts. 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 Pray for a Paralogman? Yeah. I didn't even realize that was a map. Does it say here? No, it doesn't say. Dude, if we got units for free, if they let us pick one of the two units for free, I hope everyone retracts their statement about this being bad. Low-key. 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 If we got one of those two for free, oh my God, don't even complain anymore. But I don't think that's gonna happen. But yeah, I wish some people were a bit nicer to me with these replies. Again, I should have definitely worded my quote retweet way better. Like, again, your feelings are valid, 100% valid. I'm just like, again, maybe I'm nostalgia pilled, but I really like this banner conceptually. It should have been handled better, but alas, this is the world we live in. I still prefer to, oh, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. I agree, iCards. I think they should have been separate. Probably Apocalypse. But yeah. Yeah, I do wish some people are kind of nicer to me with some of these replies, but it's fine. I also saw some people subtweet me, and I was like, damn, that kind of sucks, man. This is the banner which made IS look kind of desperate. I can agree how it looks desperate, but again, again, me and Oblivion are the first people that will tell you IS is being stupid fucks. But me, I don't know. I'm not gonna speak for Oblivion, but me, I don't think this came out of malice. I don't think so. But at the same time, again, it sucks no GHB and no foraging bonds. That super sucks. And second place winners are backpacks. That, again, that also sucks. I'm not gonna fight anyone against that. Twitter, so good luck with the kind. Yeah. And I'm a FEH-tuber and a VTuber, so like it's I make an easy target. We get no tickets for this? Probably not, unless the data download tells us something. They're trying to avoid every single way to print more new heroes. Again, there needs to be a balance, because respectfully, there's no way they're gonna make a freaking banner where it's like Ignatz, Hanneman, fucking Gilbert, Aloise. Like, there's no way they're like, you know, like that's there's a reality to this, and while I'm not saying never give us new heroes, but there's definitely got to be a happy medium. There has to be a happy medium. Pessimism and negativity, yeah. Second place winner does not have perf skills back then, so they do not have influence on the harmonic. Does make sense. Yeah, but they could have at least pulled something from like their latest ult or something. Like Lynn, they could have easily made her have like an assist that refreshes her. That would have been broken. But, you know, Brave Roy was definitely the hardest to make work for Ike, because his whole thing was like Gale Force and like having a heavy blade built in to proc specials easy. So that's definitely hard to like implement in this new Ike. Lucina, Brave Lucina was like ultimate support bot for like ever. And yeah. Lana was always just nuke 𝔬𝔬𝔩. Two assets and two new heroes seem to be the way for a long while on new banners. Yeah. There's a pattern of February being the anniversary, May Golden Week, August, CYL introduction, and November end of book. They are all 3 months away, but maybe just a coincidence, but excuses the release date, I guess. Brave Royal was also kind of get outclassed by base ℉𝔬𝔬𝔢 when IS introduces perf weapon. Yeah. Well, it was not that Roy was outclassed. It was just that ℉𝔬𝔬𝔢 was easier to get. And they did the same thing. So, like, if you plus 10 both, Roy was better. But obviously, everyone had easy access to ℉𝔬𝔬𝔢, so they just ran him. You think that FEH will end of service after book 10? FEH still makes $2 million a month. Our worst month was in June or July, which we made like 1.9 million. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think FEH takes $3 million a year to maintain. I really don't believe that. Also, Fortune's Weave is gonna come out next year, which, if you want my opinion, a mainline game's relevance and like staying power and sales have an impact on FEH. I don't think that's a hot take. You know? A mainline game doing well and its staying power has an effect on Fire Emblem Heroes. So if Fortune's Weave does really well and is received really well and has staying power, FEH's gonna make way more money. It just is. It just is. And also, like, FEH is like the middle ground between games, you know? I feel like if you do kill FEH, it's like the fan base kind of like, I don't want to say dies, but like, it's not going to be as active, you know? Like, even people that don't even play FEH still talk about FEH, for better or worse, for better or worse. There's people that don't even play FEH that just fucking every single fucking banner that comes out just talk shit even though they don't even play the game. Look how stupid this is. The earliest I see FEH EOS is year 10. I think this game's got like 2 years. Earliest. I spoke to the Shadow. He thinks FEH could last like 45 years right now. Which I'm like, damn. But don't get me wrong. It also depends on how the fuck they design the game for the next 2 years, you know? If they somehow just make shit worse in terms of like kits and playability and like complexity creep, like if they make that shit worse, oh yeah, they could definitely kill this game if they wanted to. Oh, if Fortune's Weave is another 3 houses, or even Fates, oh, yeah, this game will definitely live for another 4 years. Like, actually. Shadows made less overall than the absolute worst FEH month ever? Oh, yeah. Well, that's also because, like, there's no, like, real gacha in Shadows. Not that I think that would change much, but, you know. Like, they made how much their first month? Like 70K? Like, that was bad. 70K? Like, it was horrible. I don't even think I hit one, or was it like 7? I remember there being a 7 there. Was it 700K? I forgot. It was bad. It was horrible. Yeah, Shadows also doesn't have nearly as much content. Yeah. I think the story could be broken down into 3 parts. Oh, with the 3, like, the 3 destructions of Ragnarok or whatever. Yeah, they could do that. I'm not negative. I'm just asking. I like the game, and like I said, oh yeah, I didn't take it that way. I like the duo concept, and I would like. Listen, I don't mind EOS talk, but there's like good and bad ways of like asking. You did in a good. You did fine in asking. But you know, like a lot of it's mostly Twitter. But the way that, and like, I guess sometimes YouTube comments, I guess, but like a lot of the ways people fucking say EOS, like every nitpick will be like, there will be like the smallest nitpicks ever. And people are like, oh my God, EOS. Oh my God. Oh my God. This game sucks. Oh my God. I heard the banner is taking a paralog slot. That's awesome. I hope it's a paralog slot. The only issue I have with this is that there's no GHB and forging bonds. Okay, if we actually get a paralog with this, I can forgive not being a forging bonds. Mostly. We're missing out on the 4 tickets, but we're getting almost the same amount of orbs. And before people say, oh, but like story chapter normally, we already got the story chapter early. So this is technically more than what we're already getting. Oh, Faye lives on, though there's still a lot of potential. I think 70% of Faye's issues could easily be fixed if they really wanted to. But really wanted to is like the key phrase. Shadow's not even cracking 400k in 2 months is so bad. Yeah, exactly. And if they're still keeping that game up, then like, I think Faye's okay. New PvE game modes could save the game hard. Oh, 1,000,000%. Any content, give us something new. We don't need a more. How many we have so many game modes that's really just the same shit if you really think about it. We have so many auto battlers, dude. Co-op mode would go hard. Hopefully they give us quest tickets. Hopefully. You get random no mask. Yeah, I've been yapping a lot. Yeah, I just wanted to clear some stuff about like my tweet. When I say how can anyone hate this, I didn't mean that in a literal sense. Like, obviously feel free if you have obviously issues. You know, everyone's opinion's valid. I wish some people were more nice to me because there were some things that were pretty passive aggressive and like shitty. Like I didn't need to be called a bitch, but it's fine. It's fine. Like genuinely no bad blood. I swear, no bad blood. Obviously don't chat. I'm a content creator, so if like don't go to other people and be like, hey, why'd you say that's Itachi? Like you don't have to do that. Don't do that. You know. Your comment without context can be taken the wrong way. Yeah, I agree. And I will humbly take that all. I will humbly take that all. That's why I had to make a follow-up reply. I replied being like, by the way, this wasn't a super little statement. Everyone's feelings are valid. You know, that's on me. And I'm happy to admit that. Again, there were, even without context, I think some responses were a bit much. But again, it's fine. No ill will. It's all good. And yeah, I just wanted to see everyone's reactions. I might do something like this more. I might do something like this more, like community reactions. I think that's I don't think people do this much in the face tuber space. I think actually no one does it really. So I wouldn't mind doing something like this again. You know, sharing our thoughts, hopefully in a civil manner, and you know, just talk. I think this was fun. You know, and you know, cool. You should discussion your. Thank you. I appreciate it, Scarecrow. But yeah, I feel like now I'm starting to get into circles. Do we know when the Faye channel will be? Let us check. Because we should know. Okay. Okay, so this is the fake calendar. All right. So new heroes on this calendar, it says the 4th. For me, since I live in Eastern time, this really means the 5th. So that means the Fae channel, the latest, is December 3rd. That is the Fae channel. That is the Fae channel. So in 6 days. In 6 days is the Fae channel. Yeah. That's yeah, in 6 days is the Fae channel. But yeah. That'll be everyone from me. I'm like talking to workers now. Oblivion is maybe we'll have a summoning session at Reset tonight. If he does, I'll be there. So I don't want to promise anything for him. He said no promises, but if he does stream summons, I'll probably be there. So keep an eye out for that. Don't expect it, but keep an eye out for that because he might just stay with his family for Thanksgiving. But yeah, thanks everyone for chatting with me. Let me know how you guys think. Please keep it simple. Again, everyone's opinions are valid. And yeah, thanks for hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye everyone. Bye.